Thanks, Gregor. Morning, Paul. Just not noticing Jordy Ben on the ice. Does that mean Pionk is out, or what can you tell us about his status?
Yeah, we're going to keep Neil out. So it's a minor deal and it's day to day. And Jordy will play tonight. So it was optional her skate because we had full skate yesterday. So Jordy goes in tonight. Billy Hanoa will stay in and Harkins will stay in.
We'll go next to Mike Mcintyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Paul, we know, morning, Paul, with Connor Hellebuyck, we know how much he likes to get into a rhythm. So when you look at these last 4 games and I guess not knowing exactly when the playoffs might begin, is it difficult to maybe find that happy point for him and the rhythm? How do you maybe work that?
Yeah, I sat down, talked to him with the schedule laid out in front of him and picked the games. So he's going tonight. He wants one of the van games, and then we'll by that time we should know when our start point is. So we'll look at the Toronto game and I'm open even to splitting that game if we needed to. So we scheduled, he wanted 2 of the 3. And we'll look at the Toronto game based on when the start for the first round is.
We'll go next to Sarah Lesky from TSN. Go ahead, Sarah.
Good morning, Paul. Will the plan be for Jordy to just go into Pionk's place, or will you adjust your defensive pairings?
We'll put DeMello with Morrissey, and because a possible pairing would be Inola and Ben. Jordy's alluded to the fact he's played quite a bit of the right side. And he enjoys it. Actually feels as comfortable there, if not more comfortable on his offside as he does his natural side. So we'd like to see the 2 of them together.
We'll go next to Scott Bilick from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks, Gregor. Good morning, Paul. I got 2 questions, but I'll get back in the queue after this one. In terms of Nikolaj Ehlers, has his timeline changed? I mean, we don't know when the playoffs start. It could be a week and a half, I suppose. Is he still within that timeline to start game 1? So when would he kind of, I mean, maybe not shed the non-contact, but when do you think he might start, maybe shooting pucks and that sort of thing?
I don't know that yet. So he's on the ice. We're going to try to delay it as long as we can, because sometimes you can set these things back before you need to. We know he can shoot the puck. We want to just use this time, get his legs and his heart and lungs back up to speed here. And he won't need much time. Like once he gets the green light, he's just going to be full go.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, good morning, Paul. I know the other night you were expecting a little bit of a heavier game from Calgary to give you a playoff type feel. What about Ottawa? What kind of elements in their game can get you, or can help you rather, in this postseason?
So they've got a bit of a 5-man speed game. They'll get everybody up the ice off a rush, and because they've got some skill, and there's also no cost. Right. And I don't mean to that disrespect. They've played a good game all year. I mean, he's done a really good job getting them to play the game the right way, as we always like to say. But because there's no cost to them, they make plays. Right. They're trying that. They're trying to make those plays off the rush, and I think they shot pucks. Maybe it felt like they shot more pucks at the start of the year as kind of a protection too. They're trying to score goals, but they also keeps them from turning the puck over in dangerous areas. Now I think we saw it in a bunch of their games, they'll make plays. So that's good, because we're going to play 2 teams. One of the two teams is going to make plays off the rush just on high end skill coming up. So we have to be right off the rush. We like that in our game in Ottawa. We thought we managed that well, but this is actually a good game. We thought Calgary'd come real heavy. It didn't happen. These guys will present a real good challenge that in pieces is like what we'll see from Edmonton or Toronto. Because they're, like, as I said, there's no risk, there's no cost to what they do. So they try things.
We'll go next to Ken Weaver from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Thanks again, Paul. We haven't seen Kyle Connor go through one of these droughts in a while. I mean, normally you say if he's getting the chances, it's going, but he hasn't had as many shots as usual. Is there anything that stands out to you? And what does he need to do to kind of get back to using his feet and getting those shots off at the usual rate?
Well, part of it is that we noticed this because we switched the power play units up, and that's a place that guys like Kyle get some points to kind of tide them through maybe a dry spell, so you don't notice this as much, and they don't notice it as much, right? They pick up a couple of assists, maybe they score 1 and 5 or 6 on the power play, so they it doesn't weigh on him as much. And also it changed the line. So there's a whole bunch of things where what he was used to stopped. And now he's back to what he's used to. We'll put a lefty because Neil's out. A lefty will back up on the power play, which will run it off the other side, which will open up the shot for him. He's back with Mark and Blake. Those guys looked like they were starting to generate some offense in the last game. So it'll come for him here. He's going to get his chances. And once those guys, once they get that good feeling on their stick, it usually runs pretty hot for a while.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Paul, where do you think Dubois' line is at right now?
I like where Pierre-Luc is in about 5 of 7 of his games. So I'm good with that. It's more the individual. I think that Stas is going to be a real good player, real good mentor for him. And obviously I have Nicky going in that hole when he comes back, and that changes the dynamic of the line. Matty's been fine over there, but he's better on the left than he is on the right. It's a different dynamic for him, especially making passes into the middle with Pierre-Luc coming with speed. So there's some things they can't really do right now, but Matty will get the intensity level up for Pierre-Luc. And those are the things that we think he's made big strides in right now. So I'm good with where they're at.
Go ahead, Sean Reynolds.
Sorry about that. Just with you talking about Ehlers going back in that hole, it sounds to me like the lines that you have are pretty solidified heading into the playoffs. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot more experimenting. I got kind of where we are now and where we would go on our first set of changes. So we're not too far off it now.
And final question to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
And Paul, just going back to the power play you hinted at, would it be Morrissey going on the top pair, and then would Heinola maybe run that second unit with Pionk out?
Correct.
Thank you.